Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the SaVeg podcast.
Hi there.
Hi. How you doing, Rose?
Well, I'm doing okay, but I think you're in a mood.
No, I think it's just, you know what, guys? For those of you that aren't in Calgary, I'm just going to give you a little bit of pretext. It looks like the goddamn apocalypse outside.
Oh my God, it really does.
Like, I'm not even kidding you. This whole weekend has been full of smoke,
no, actually, I had a little rooftop party thing, not a rooftop, patio party situation
Oh yeah, patio
on Friday.
Party. That's true.
Friday was the perfect day to do it because that was the last day where it was blue skies.
Yeah. This summer's been crazy though.
I know. It's been insane.
So smoky.
Is it making you depressed? Did we talk about this last week?
I think, no, I don't think maybe we did. I don't know.
It was an episode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rose was having an episode.
You be having an episode. So how are you feeling about this situation?
About the apocalypse outside?
I mean, it is kind of raining as well, so it's a little gloomy. But also, we need some rain apparently.
No, I think the rain will wash this like ash and shit out of the sky, and like it's been frustrating because like I tried running on a treadmill because I joined this gym, and because I'm obviously me and Rose are training for that half marathon.
Oh
and
God.
I just can't do a treadmill. Like it's just like
I know
it's so
depressing.
boring. Like just being on the treadmill, I just like I need to be outside running, and you just can't in this weather. Like because of the smoke is so thick, it's like you can't run.
Yeah, like it's not even weather; it's like the wildfire.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was Friday. There was, I think it was Friday evening. Mm-hmm. There was a wildfire nearby. Oh, gosh darn. Anyway, there was a wildfire nearby where we are, like in our province. So that drifted over the weekend. So then it's been very, very smoky outside, like to the point where I woke up this morning. I was at my parents' house. I woke up in the morning and in the house smelled like campfire.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It is scary. I feel like this is definitely like, maybe people will agree to disagree because I haven't been here for a lot of summers, but like there's been a few summers I've come back and it's been smoky for like a week and then it disappears. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is the worst one.
Yeah, I've never seen it so consistently smoky because we had all those huge BC fires. Now we're having a fire in, just outside of Calgary. Like be getting crazy as hell, guys.
I know. And there's just so much random shit happening, like earthquakes in Haiti. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Haiti, like, that poor country.
Oh my God, seriously? Every time I hear about Haiti, it's like some kind of fucking disaster.
Well, I remember when it's crazy.
It is so depressing.
I went to Cuba like a very long time ago.
Right.
And when I went, it was like during January and normally it's like quite warm, like not like super hot, but like pretty warm. But we were there and it was like freak weather, super cold, like just not very nice. And it was around the same time that I think Haiti also had like an earthquake or something there.
Right.
Where there was like a huge like disaster and they're already like, it's quite a...
it's really poor already.
Yeah, the country's like, so they're really, really struggling there, and it's just like I remember back when we were in uni there was like Help Haiti or something.
Yeah, something crazy happened at that time, and then I think recently, like a few months ago, their president got assassinated or something.
Oh, God,
right?
I don't know.
Just some crazy shit happens in that country. So I mean, like, yeah, it's crazy. Like I just feel so like I think like over 1,000 people died in the earthquake. It is so depressing and so sad. I feel really bad for what's happening over there. The world is fucking coming to an end.
Well, I mean, and we already talked about this in the last podcast episode though, guys, or maybe 2 episodes ago. We talked about the they released that new report, that
oh God,
the ICBB
the
or something,
depressing as hell world is coming to an end report,
basically that we're in a code red.
Oh God.
And that it all coming to an end. But it was interesting because I went rafting this weekend and the people that I went rafting with, we were like having a chat and stuff, and we were just talking about like how like obviously as this continues, it's like nobody really is like doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Like governments, they're trying. It's almost like, remember when you heard about companies like greenwashing, where they talk about, we're doing all this great stuff for the environment, but really at the end of the day, they're not.
Yeah.
And I think the frustrating thing is like, it's just when is it going to change? And we're just kind of like, because the longer this goes on, like it's going to actually impact the fabric of our very lives in the sense that like our everyday life as we know it is going to completely change.
God
it's not going to be, we're not going to have this like nice, stable environment that we've been living in. It's going to be like crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that positive note, guys.
God, Daniel, way to start this podcast.
It's important to talk about, and we need to be talking about this more. But it's like,
also, like, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
I start to feel the more I think about it, the less hopeful I feel, which is really sad.
Oh God,
I feel very like
every day. I feel like we're hearing with the news like all this crazy stuff happening, and I think you're not the only one. I feel like a lot of people are really freaking out
because it feels like a hopeless situation. Do you know what I mean?
It really does.
It feels
really
like
does.
No matter what
we do
as an individual, I of course, guys, there's things that we can do, and I'm being a little bit negative right now, but it's kind of like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, oh my fucking God.
It's like, what are we supposed to do? Yeah. Like, even if we were, a bunch of us did start, I mean, like, I don't, what are we supposed to do? Like, I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, I think we did mention in the last podcast episode, I think one of the key things that needs to happen is, which I don't know if it's ever going to happen, is like all the governments need to work together across the globe
and come up with a solution.
And come up with an idea, a solution. And then there needs to be some really tight regulation.
Like really tight.
Like it has to be like, like
we need to be like authoritarian.
Exactly. To the point where it's like, companies can't just operate freely and do whatever the hell they want. Because that's part of the problem, right? Like these companies just doing whatever they want, making billions, and then walking away from environmental problems.
Yeah.
So...
Oh God! On that positive note, we've got some Patreon shout outs.
We sure do, guys.
We got one Patreon shout out.
We do. We would like to give a little thanks to Doricella for joining our Patreon community. Now, Rose, for those listeners that don't know what our Patreon is all about, what can you give us a little update or background?
My friends. So our Patreon, guys, is the place where we do bonus episodes every month. Yeah. So we do one bonus episode every month, and this month you're getting you're getting a live episode.
A bonus
live episode.
What's happening with this live episode,
We're going to do
Rose?
a live episode where we are live.
Perfectly summed up.
For details, if you want to join the live episode or watch later on, you can join our Patreon. The link is in the show notes or the description. Yeah. And of course, you get the episodes ad-free and a week earlier than everybody else. So join us, our little family, our little community.
And on top of that, you get access to all of our Patreon exclusives that we've been doing for over a year now.
We have a lot.
There's like dating stories, all
Fun
kinds
stuff.
of exclusive, juicy content. There might be some, scandalous things. Rose's freely response video.
Oh, goddamn, Dan, you could be plugging that.
There'll be everything in there.
Yes, it is juicy in there. So join us, guys. Join our little community. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the live stream episode, guys, is going to be taking place on... Oh, actually, I guess this will already be out. When the live stream.
Will already be out?
But the live stream will be recorded.
Or this won't be out, you mean?
Yeah, this won't be out. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, so guys, the live stream episode will be recorded and on our Patreon. It will have already passed by now, but, you can still catch it. We're going to record it, and it will be on the Patreon, so you can, catch it. And we might be doing more live episodes in the future, because I think it seems to be a very popular choice. So,
okay.
So, yeah.
So, shall we get to story number 1?
Was I supposed to look at stories?
Daniel.
Damn,
Daniel.
Just joking. I want to see Rose's face there because you know how she's...
You really want the death glare?
She's a very expressive woman.
I mean, other than the world coming to an end, what else is in the world? Oh, shit. I heard about this. Okay. Oh, I was just... I watched something about this just now.
Yeah.
But basically, it's the story with Lizzo. Celebrities stick up for Lizzo after singer discusses toll of online hate.
Yeah.
So I guess she got a lot of hate because of her size. And yeah.
Well, I think it's not just about, it is about that. But basically she has like a lot of Lizzo's music videos. Like she's kind of like unapologetically her, I guess, in a sense. Like she has her music videos and she dresses, provocatively and, love the skin you're in. And I know we did have an episode about Lizzo before. Long time ago with Jillian Michaels, and she had commented,
long time ago.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
very long time ago. And we talked about a separate thing, which is like body image and fat phobia and all that kind of stuff. So guys, check out that episode if you haven't seen it already. But this is really, I feel like it's still an issue around like size and stuff, but it's like people are just attacking the way that she looks, right?
Right.
And I think there's something really like wrong about it. And in this recent track that she released called Rumors, I guess she's, skimpily clothed and everything else. And she's received a lot of backlash. And so she posted a video where she's actually like crying pretty much on her video, which is so sad.
So sad. I feel bad for her.
Like it's so bad. Where she's saying, quote, "People saying shit about me that doesn't even make sense," she said while wiping away tears. "It's fat phobic and it's racist and it's hurtful. If you don't like my music, cool. If you don't like Rumors, it's all cool. But a lot of people don't like me because of the way I look."
I mean, it's probably true.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, it's not even just, it's like her dressing the way she does, it wouldn't have the same impact if she wasn't her size.
Yeah.
People would not say the same things, right? I mean, of course, people still say shit about like Cardi B and all the other, famous, women.
Yeah.
But I think for sure, because of her size, she gets probably like 5 times more hate.
Exactly.
Which is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel bad for her.
It's sad. Like,
why are people like this?
Mm-hmm.
We have enough problems, people.
And you know what's funny is like a lot of these people, and again, like not like throwing shade, but a lot of people that are like quick to like jump on other people's image and looks and everything else. Like, I bet you they're not no supermodels. Do you know what I mean? I bet you they don't have like these amazing bodies.
It's like the insecurity that makes them like, say such hate.
Exactly. It's like they're insecure about their own selves, and that's why they project it onto others and are like, oh, like, this is, you shouldn't be doing this. It's like, you know what? People can do whatever they like want, like in terms of, if she wants to do a scantily clad music video, power to her. Do you know
why
what
do
I mean?
people care so much?
I don't get it.
Again, this is the least of our fucking problems, Somebody just dressed however the way they want, dancing, like who cares?
Exactly. And like we said, there's more important things to worry about, like the climate crisis that we're in right now,
goddamn,
guys.
seriously.
So maybe we could take a little bit less focus on, bashing people, and let's take that energy.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of bashing is she getting? Is it?
So she actually declined to comment on actually what people were saying, because there was like a lot of comments, a lot of stuff on her, I guess, social media, all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure a lot of it is her size and
that has a lot to do with it. And basically she was saying, she just, it was really sad to watch because she was crying in it. And it's just like, nobody deserves that kind of, that kind of backlash and that hate. Yeah. The good thing is, I mean, obviously we have lots of other celebrities like stepping up. Cardi B was like, this is just terrible. And tons of people online were like pretty supportive. Being like, you know what, guys, back off. And again, like, who are you to judge somebody like this?
Yeah. I think people like, they don't realize that celebrities are like human and they can read these comments and they can see these comments. And that's like, nobody, like, who wants to hear that about themselves, it's sad. But
it's just really
she's just dancing. Like, who cares? Like,
exactly.
It's not like she's going around telling everybody they need to be her size or whatever it is, right? Like,
exactly.
She's just having a good time and she's just doing her music and she's good at what she does and just like fucking leave her alone.
Exactly. It's so stupid, guys. Honestly, like, it makes me angry. It's just like, it's like nobody deserves to be like beaten down like that. And of course, she probably has insecurities about this. We all have our own insecurities. She for sure has
insecurities.
Right? Yeah.
But imagine that insecurity and then like everyone's commenting on that insecurity.
Exactly. Like people like jumping on it and then like it just makes it so much worse. Like,
oh God.
What is wrong with society?
Well, hope she feels better. I mean, it's internet trolls. You just have to ignore it at that point.
Exactly.
It sucks, but like,
I think it's really challenging though. I think it's like, especially if you get a lot, like a magnitude of hate, that's when it's like gets really hard, so I hope Lizzo, I hope you, get past this and hopefully people stop being such dicks. And sad to see.
How old is Lizzo? Do we know? Is she our age?
I think she is probably. No, I think maybe she's a bit younger than us.
Yeah? Let's see.
Take a look, Rose. Please tell us the age of Lizzo. I'm
curious.
I think she's similar age.
I think she's our similar age. Let's see. Oh, she's our age.
Yeah.
April 27th, 1988. I just aged us.
Yeah. So we're 88.
Well, I'm not 33 yet, so.
Soon to be, though. You know who else is the same age as us, born in our year?
Who?
Rihanna.
Oh yeah, she is.
So I always used to think that was cool. Like I remember.
Is she a billionaire now?
Oh yeah, she's like freaking because of her Fenty beauty.
Because of her Fenty.
This is the thing, guys. If you want to make a shitload of money, launch a beauty care line or like a makeup line, right? Like if you see, especially lately, like where there's been a huge amount of success is in the makeup industry.
You think so?
Yeah.
More than any other industry?
Well, I don't know more than any other industry. Of course not. But like you see these like people go from being like everyday, not everyday Joes, but like Rihanna was already quite rich and, wealthy. But like her Fenty beauty line, and I think she has his clothes and other stuff, has just brought her that much more wealth than more than she would have ever got singing.
With music.
Yeah. Because that's that's kind of how the stars do it. It's like you can reach a great level of success singing.
Sure.
But generally like once you start doing endorsements and everything else, that's when the money really starts rolling in. And Kylie Jenner is another perfect example of people that
And they just like slap their name on it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy to me. Like, and maybe I'm just like naive because I like never obviously buy like makeup or anything. Well, not
really,
obviously,
Daniel?
but I
Why
don't.
not?
I probably should. I was thinking
you might want to try some. I'm just kidding.
Maybe some concealer.
I'm just joking, Daniel.
But
you be beautiful the way you is.
Thinking use. But like, I remember when I was like younger going to London Drugs and stuff, and like there was already a shitload of makeup in the stores. Do you know what I mean? I didn't realize.
My God, makeup industry is insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like so much stuff now.
So much stuff. Stuff. There is. And it's crazy. And I think it's partially, or if not mostly, due to beauty gurus online. Because I remember like many years ago, when beauty gurus became like a big thing on YouTube, when it first became a big thing, I was like obsessed, and I was like watching all these like random beauty gurus and like putting on all this makeup, and then I would like buy shit that they would like recommend.
Of course.
And I would end up just like with this like huge collection of makeup that I would like never use. Because like there's only so much. Like the thing is like when you buy like one foundation, for example, that can actually last you quite a long time. But then you buy like 4 foundations and you're like, okay, I don't need like 4 foundations. So after a while I was like, this is getting ridiculous. I'm buying like way too much random makeup that I don't need. But I do think that's partially why.
And I also think too, and maybe I could be wrong because again, I don't apply a ton of makeup. I go for the simple look, guys.
Yeah, the au naturel.
Yeah, au naturel.
They call it the no makeup look. Daniel.
Well, and just with a little bit of mascara,
exactly.
You know, just looking like a beauty guru. But I think also like especially in like the recent times, there's like so much people are putting on so much more makeup, like in terms of like contouring's become huge, putting on layers, doing like concealer, blush, powder, like setting powder, fucking contour, you know what I mean? Like there's so, whereas in the past it was like you put some concealer on, a little bit of mascara.
In what past, Daniel?
In my past. No, but I never remember, like, even when you would see people on like TV and stuff, and I never remember like with the beauty gurus and everything else, and even like the Kardashians and everyone else doing so much blending and contouring and like.
How do you know, Daniel? You only see the final product.
Well, I don't know, Rose. I'm pretty sure that's the accurate fact.
I don't think so. I think we just didn't know, especially if they're like celebrities. They probably put on a lot.
Yeah, the celebrities
you just
would
don't
have.
see it.
But I mean, like everyday people weren't doing it
I think it's because they didn't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
For example, like if you look at like teenagers now, they look like fucking, they're on the runway, goddamn, like out of the makeup catalog, you know?
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. When I was fucking like 14, I put my eyeliner like all the way up my lid. I got like fucking blue eyeliner on the bottom. I got like,
it's funny.
It was like disgusting. Like nobody knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw this like video. I think I don't know if you sent it to me or somebody.
Was it? I know which one.
It's like this blonde lady, and she's like showing people makeup in the 90s or something. And she does like put like the most ridiculous. Her hair's in these weird ponytails, and she has like that blue under the eye and stuff. And then it shows like now, and it's like model face, like all this stuff. I'm like, oh my god,
thanks
like
to beauty gurus.
Yeah, so I guess you're right. Maybe there's been a kind of education that's happened in the makeup space area.
Yeah.
But with that, people are also buying more products. Right. So
100%.
That's probably why as well. And I bet you like, I don't know, like some of these celebrities that like endorse these products and stuff, like, are they actually supreme quality products? You know, like everyone's like, oh, Kylie's lip liner and whatever else. Like, is it actually that good?
I've seen a lot of reviews on the Kylie products and a lot of them say like, you know, it's okay.
It's okay. It's not worth the price.
It's her name on it, right?
Yeah.
If you just got rid of the Kylie name, you know, not many people, it would just be like any other product, probably. I'm sure some of her products are good. I'm sure she does a lot of research and, you know, development. She has a whole team behind this, you know? And, you know, they already have a lot of money to invest in the, you know, products. So I'm sure they do have decent products. But the reason why they sell is because of Kylie's name. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But maybe I should start a beauty company.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, Rose. Like if you did like a vegan beauty products.
Yeah, sustainable beauty.
Exactly.
Maybe one day in 10 years.
Why wait 10 years when you could do it now, Rose?
Because I'd be busy as hell. I'd be drowning.
God damn. Is you drowning, Rose?
Next story. All right, this is the big story, guys. It is kind of, but what does this mean? Exactly. Tell me, Daniel. Tell the audience. Tell the audience.
Okay, so basically the story is, and I guess it's a big, in some ways it's a positive, but in other ways, like I read this article and I was like, it's also like weird because, okay, the story is, so guys, we had an update on the Britney Spears whole conservatorship and what's been going on. So I guess her father has now formally decided to step down. I think probably because of all the media stuff that's going on. He realized, well, I don't know if he didn't realize this before, but clearly his daughter's not happy with him being her conservator. Sorry. And so he's like decided to take a step down.
So yeah, to me, I only saw that part. I haven't read into it or learned about it, so I don't know the details.
Yeah, and there's like controversy as to why he necessarily stepped down, but apparently he's been controlling this estate for over the past 13 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and just a preface, guys, this isn't like immediate. It's not like he's like stepped down immediately. I think there's going to be like a transition to like somebody else, and this is where I'm like, I don't know if this is so much of a success story because, sorry about that. Because yes, her father's stepping down, but she's still going to be placed. She's still under a conservatorship.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it means that maybe her father's not controlling all of her like assets and everything else.
Who is controlling?
Well, I don't think they've elected a new person. I know that it said in this article, she still has the same person that's like controlling of her person, which is.
So at what point, like what has to happen for the conservatorship to be no longer a thing? Like, is it basically, does the father have the right to decide, I'm going to end the conservatorship?
I think as a conservator, and I could be completely wrong here, guys, like you can, like if I was
could probably decide that.
Yeah, if I was your conservator right now, right? Controlling all your assets and all your money.
That'd be a scary thought.
That is a scary thought. I think like you wouldn't necessarily have the choice.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm, but I as a conservator could probably decide to take a step down. Because actually I think we saw it because her father was like co-conservatorship with a finance company as well. There was a finance company, and the finance company also recently stepped down.
So nobody has control over her assets, and she also does not have the control.
Well, but again, remember, it's not immediate. There's going to be a transition because her dad, as of right now, is still, from what I understand in this article, he's still her conservator. However, he's going to be taking a step down and transitioning somebody else into the role. But this
not necessarily Britney Spears herself.
No, because it says at the bottom here, as for whatever happens next, she's still in the conservatorship. And I guess this is the person, Jodie Montgomery, who is her personal conservator. Like,
for her personal.
Yeah, for her person.
Right.
And then there's going to be a new one that's going to be applied to her estate. Oh my God.
She is a grown woman.
I know.
Let her do, like,
I don't get, like, maybe.
How is this even legal? How is this even possible?
But apparently this is the thing. And I was like reading, like there's been a lot of backlash about this, and this has caused international outrage, right? And everyone's like, why is she still under this conservatorship? Apparently it's not that difficult to get placed into conservatorship, but it's so hard to get out of one.
That is just, this is literal like slavery.
It's like, it's kind of just crazy. Like I just don't understand, because again, and I think we brought this point up when we were talking about it last time, is like, if you're still able to work and run a business, you should not be in a conservatorship. Exactly. You have the capacity to work. You have the capacity to manage yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, whereas, okay, if you're not working, like if Britney had right at the beginning, stopped working, stopped doing everything, out of the media limelight. I'm not justifying that she still should have been into a conservatorship, but I think it would make more sense than her working and being supreme and having #1 albums as well during this time, touring, having a Hotel Vegas residency, all of this stuff, yet they're saying she's not capable of managing her estate and finances and her own person.
Yeah. I wonder why it's so hard to get out of the conservatorship.
I have no idea. Like, I mean, if any of y'all are like legal and you are like legal, I was going to say, what am I trying to say?
In the legal field?
Yes, thank you. If any of you are in the legal field and you know why this is the case, because I have heard this many times. That it's like,
I've heard that too.
Yeah, it's easy to get into a conservator. Maybe not easy, but it's easier to get into it than to get out.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I think there should be this should wake up the system to be like, you know what, actually things need to change. And this is one of the things that's kind of backwards about the legal system. Is in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad, but I think law takes such a long time to change.
Sure.
Because I think a perfect example of this, I don't know if you watched that documentary called RBG. It was Ruth Ginsburg, I think it was.
I don't know if I watched. Yeah. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So she was like a prominent figure in the legal space back in the day. And obviously she really pushed for equality of rights for women and stuff. But the way that she went about it is she's like, look, law takes such a long time to change. So she would you have to do it case by case, because law is built on precedent, right? Like they'll use previous cases to be based on this case and what was the judgment here, this constitutes this, you know what I mean?
Right.
to kind of build up their case. And that's why I think law always kind of like, I feel like it lags a little bit.
Right.
So I'm hoping that this whole litigation and stuff that's going on with Britney, maybe it will bring up some change for future conservatorships.
Right, because we don't even know, right? Like we know about this because she's famous.
Yeah.
We don't know what other people are in some sort of crazy conservatorship.
Exactly.
And they don't get, they're not getting a voice or whatever. We don't know.
No, it's...
So, yeah, this is crazy. But I do feel like because it's getting so much like media attention.
Yeah.
It's gotta like... They've got to do something.
Oh, 100%. Like
right?
they can't, I feel like they can't just keep going on like this, but it could be like now that her father is not on there anymore, like maybe they'll get like a proper person, not a proper person, but like, it will become out less in the limelight. But I think people are still going to push to say like, why isn't Britney in control of her own self? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it just doesn't make any sense. And like, you said this before, but like, would this be happening if it was a man?
Exactly. I do think they're probably getting him to step down because they again, because it's causing so much media, uproar.
Oh, yeah.
And they think that by doing this, especially because it looks like, oh, maybe that means that she's going to be free.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are going to just read the headline are going to think, like myself, for example, I was like, oh, that means she's probably one step closer. I also,
if you don't read the whole article and you're like, you see like a big title like this, you're like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's no longer her conservator. Like in this, and she's, but then you read it and you're like, actually, she's still in the conservatorship. Someone else is going to be taking his place.
And then maybe they'll make it a little better for her.
Yeah.
So then people kind of like maybe, shush a little bit.
But guys, like, I just have to ask, like, why is she still in this conservatorship?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Like, maybe there's something crazy going on behind closed doors, but maybe. I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you think that they would have released that information by now.
Exactly. Because there's been a lot of stuff that's been released when she said her court statement. Like,
oh my God.
There was a lot. She opened up the floodgates and really just let everyone know and it's crazy because I remember like there was just that huge, even like a couple months before that huge like Free Britney movement.
Right.
Well, it's been going on for a while, but she's been like going onto social media being like, everything's fine. Don't worry. I'm living my best life. But then really you find out that she's not, which makes you again wonder what's been going on with her social media feeds, everything else. And it does show you again how like controlling these celebrity images are and what we're seeing on social media and how that's like restricted. It could be other celebrities, not necessarily in conservatorships, but like have this really tight image.
Right. Of course.
That is like,
you just don't know what's going on.
No.
Whatever people post on Instagram, it's not just celebrities, obviously, whatever people post on social media, that's literally just, that might not even be the picture, but it's like a very small fraction of somebody's, life.
Exactly.
And, I mean, fuck, I want her to get out. She's so, she was so sweet and innocent and cute. And I feel like now she's probably just fucking jaded.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's been taken advantage of her whole life.
The world has beat her down.
Yeah. And it's like kind of just, it's so
she
crazy.
She can't even enjoy her success that she's basically cultivated herself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Became a household name, like literally an international household name.
Fucking iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
So like, yeah, it's just really sad, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to like, hopefully we'll get some more positive, like this is a small positive step, right? Like they're, she's still in the conservatorship, which isn't great, but at least her father's no longer, he's in control for a bit longer, but still like,
I mean, it is really sad because, you see for example, other celebrities like Rihanna, for example, or Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
They became successful businesswomen after, right? Like I think Jessica Simpson started some kind of clothing line.
She's huge. She's also like I think almost a billionaire.
She became, and like when she was a pop star, they were always comparing with her with Britney Spears, and Britney Spears always won that kind of rivalry.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's really sad to see because I feel like she had potentially so much potential.
Yeah.
And then she had some obviously mental health issues at that time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she didn't have a chance to recover from those.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is too, like you look at like some of the other celebrities, like they've also had like serious mental breakdowns and stuff.
Some of them, but Britney Spears had a pretty big one.
Yeah, she did have a huge one.
And she was also one of the most famous ones.
Oh yeah.
I think that causes
this is the thing.
More. Yeah.
In her, like, and I'm not saying it's not her heyday, guys. Don't take this the wrong way. But like when she was like really on the charts and everything else, like they're pretty much, and I don't think we've ever had it since, like at least in our lifetime, like such a prominent figure. Like we could say, there's a few pop stars and stuff, but she was literally like so famous.
Yeah.
Like everybody knew her. Everybody, like she was everywhere. And I don't think there's been that many like recent people. Like, I mean, you could say, but like there's nobody that's been like so, what's it called? Like just famous. Ahead of everyone else.
Yeah. I think it was at that time too, because it's usually like when it's like, how do I say it? When it's like the first person to like do it. So, well, I mean, I guess Madonna was quite famous like that.
Madonna was huge too.
She was pretty huge. And then Britney Spears was like basically the princess of pop, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess someone else that would have been like more famous would have been like Michael Jackson, for example.
Exactly. These are you do get certain people in each era and period that are just so famous, so famous, and like Britney Spears was one of them, right? So you're right. She was like just, and she even said in that, I remember there's that documentary that she did a while ago. Yeah. And she even said, she's like, you know what? There's other celebrities that can go out and go to the grocery store, and maybe they'll have like 3 or 4 paparazzi follow them. She's like, I leave my house right now, and this is a back a bit. She's like, I leave my house right now, and there's 40 paparazzi on me. Yeah. Like there's just like, it's just, you can't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't do anything. Can you imagine not being able to do anything?
Oh my God. Like people would be like, if we were that famous, they'd be trying to take pictures through the window. Like it would just be.
And even when you're trying to have a private moment in your house, they would try to take photos. Yeah. Through the house.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and you know, you go for a ride in your car, they're following you, and the paparazzi also like they're like at that time, I don't know if they've gotten any better, I'm not sure, but they would like, you know, get these celebrities into very dangerous situations because they'd be driving recklessly, or you know, imagine how scary it would be to get out of your vehicle and just be surrounded by people.
Oh my God.
That you can't get out of. Like you're like, guys, can you just move out of my way, please? And they're just like, take a picture.
Oh
like,
God.
And also like. Not that I've ever been in that situation, but one of my work's Christmas parties, it was a celebrity theme, and it was
What did you dress up as? Were you supposed to dress up?
No, you didn't dress up, but it was like we walked a red carpet and everything else.
I see.
And we went to this nightclub, and at the nightclub, like as you walk the red carpet, there was like 50 people there taking pictures.
Shut up!
I'm dead serious.
Wow, that's cool.
So you kind of felt like you were actually on a red carpet, like with all these people.
And how'd you feel, Daniel?
It was overwhelming as hell. Like you could barely see. All the lights are flashing in your eyes. Like just think about the magnitude of that, and then.
That's just make believe.
Exactly. And that's in a controlled environment. Imagine you're in an uncontrolled environment trying to get something and people are flashing pictures in your face. Like it's a scary thing. Like, so I can see why a lot of people like have like backlashes and stuff like that.
Oh God, seriously. And yeah. That's the thing. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but it's like the fact that like we idolize these celebrities and we think, oh my God, their lives are so great. But if you actually look into the reality of it, it's really sad.
Yeah. And the thing that is, and we were all guilty of this, I think, especially when we were younger, is like, you know, putting these people onto this like pedestal and like, they're like gods, you know what I mean? Like they're not normal people, but at the end of the day, they are just like us, you know, they still have to eat, sleep, go to the bathroom.
I know.
All of this stuff. Like they're exactly like no different, only that they just happen to have this, you know, limelight that they're, you know, thrust into or, you know, have worked for and been lucky, you know what I mean? Like, because there's lots of people out there that want to become famous, but don't.
I know. And then once they get there, they're probably like, fuck this. I don't want this.
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
I didn't ask for this. And and that's why like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you ask for it, you've become famous. And it's
like you don't know what it's like until you're actually there.
Exactly.
Like we could talk about it all day long, but we'll never know what it actually does feel like. And what kind of problems it may cause. I'm sure it's also very exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a very weird kind of, you know, thought in your head. Because I'm sure a part of you is like, oh my God, this is so great and exciting and amazing. And then another part of you is like, fuck this shit.
Well, and that's what I remember in that documentary about, I can't remember what it was called, but this one where Britney, it was like years ago. And she was talking about all this stuff. And she's like, you know what, when I first became famous, it was exciting.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't notice as much the paparazzi and stuff only because, well, she still noticed, but she said only because I was so busy, I was always on the go, right? Like she was like, I would fly to London. I'd only be in London for like 2 or 3 days. So yeah, there might be some paparazzi there, but you would just be flying to the next place. Do you know what I mean? So
you don't have a chance.
Yeah. You don't have a chance to like, you know, really like
think.
Yeah. And then when she was like started to take little breaks here and there, that's when shit got real.
Oh my God.
And she was like, hey, this is not fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like imagine that. Because you're on tour all the time. You're busy. You're traveling.
Yeah.
You don't notice that and then you go home to have a break and it's just crazy.
And you probably feel lonely. And I mean, that reminds me of like, have you heard of New Kids on the Block? You know the band, right? Yeah. They were like really famous for like, I think they were really famous for a short period of time. Actually, I don't know how long, but it was like in the early 90s, I think, or mid 90s, somewhere.
Yeah.
They were massive. And I remember watching some kind of documentary about them a long time ago. So I don't remember the details, but I do remember they were saying how like, you know, you go to these shows and it's so exciting and there's all these people.
Yeah.
And then you go to the hotel and you're just alone. And you're just like, fuck, you know? And it's just like, go constant. And it's just so much pressure. And it's like, I can't even imagine like what that's like.
Yeah. Well, and you would feel even so alone because like, for, you know, like even if you want to go out for dinner or something, just you finish your show and you're like, let's go grab a quick bite to eat.
Yeah.
And like you can't, or like even if you go quickly by yourself to go grab something, like you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like people will be on you and like it's scary. You know what I mean? Because you never know what people are going to do and people are unpredictable.
And they don't treat you like a normal person, right?
No.
It's not like they're just going to have a conversation. Like they just want to like take a picture with you, all that stuff.
Exactly. And that also further isolates you because then it's like, who are your friends?
Exactly. Oh God.
Unless you, and that's why I think there's a lot of issues. We talked about this before, but child stars, they don't have a chance to build up those like core friendships. Because I feel like if you get older and you built up those core friendships and then you become famous, it can be a little
lot better.
Yeah, you have that kind of like rock and that grounding. But if you don't build that foundation, it can get crazy.
Right? Oh God.
God damn.
So anyway, I guess we ain't getting famous.
Well, you already is famous, Rose. Okay, you be a celebrity. You be a vegan sensation. God damn.
Oh God. I just remember, like, I think I talked about this in the podcast before, but I remember watching a video, a Michael Jackson video, and it was like him in a grocery store and he was just like shopping for stuff. And then it turns out he hired a bunch of people. He shut down the grocery store.
Oh yeah, I heard
hired
about
a bunch
this.
of actors to pretend that they are shoppers so that he could have a normal grocery shopping experience. Because think about it, if you're famous from the age of 5, you've never had a normal grocery shopping experience.
Well, you wouldn't.
Yeah. So something as mundane as grocery shopping, it's probably fascinating to you because you're like, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
But it's like not even that. It's like you would have never just gone into like a coffee shop by yourself to go grab a coffee.
Yeah.
Like little things.
Or just walk down the street without people chasing you.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
I know. It's like, it's insane.
Yeah. And then people wonder why they start having fucking mental problems. It's like...
Because we've already seen what like isolation and, you know, if you can't even go down the street and go for like a peaceful walk and stuff, like, God damn, guys, that'd be scary as all hell and tarnation in a handbasket.
God damn. What's next, Daniels?
So.
Oh, Twitch.
Have you heard about this?
I think I know. Is it about gambling?
Yes. So basically, and I don't know too much about this story, to be honest, guys. So I'm a little bit in the dark, but I have heard and I've seen quite a few videos of like some other like famous YouTubers and stuff coming out and like calling people out. Because basically, and I didn't know what Twitch was either until today.
Oh my God. You're such a grandpa.
I am. Well, because I'm not on this platform. And anyway,
Daniel's living the real world.
I do, guys. I like to live my life in the real world,
which is very healthy.
Exactly. I'm even thinking of like limiting my socials. And
I know
stuff.
You've been saying that for quite a while now, Daniel.
I know.
When are you going to do it?
I don't know. We'll see.
You should just do like one day where you do no social media.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good
like
call.
one day a week.
Yeah.
You know.
But Twitch is, if for those of you that don't know, that are grandpas and grandmas like me, it's like this online streaming. It's like live streaming where basically there's, I guess they're called Twitchers. Are they Twitchers? I don't know.
I think they're called Twitch streamers.
Twitch streamers.
But who knows? I'm also a grandma.
They could be Twitchers.
I don't think they're Twitchers.
I've never. Maybe I've just coined a new word.
Guys, let's start calling them Twitchers.
Yeah, because like,
I mean, it would make sense. There's YouTubers. There's TikTokers,
Instagrammers.
Twitchers. Makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, so Twitchers, and basically what they do is they go on this platform and I guess they just play like video games or they'll watch people playing video games and then they just like comment. They'll have their like video.
I mean, that's part of it. So that's how it started, I think.
Yeah.
It was like a gaming live stream gaming platform.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, for some reason the gaming industry is like fucking huge.
It is.
I know.
It's like a ginormous.
I know. Like I literally don't understand it,
like
but
it's
huge.
I bet you it rivals the beauty industry.
I think it's more.
Yeah.
I think it's more.
It's crazy.
Like it's crazy, and people just like watching people play games. I'll never understand, but you know what? Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
So it started as that, and now I think there's more people doing different things on Twitch, but it's still more of a gaming platform.
Yeah, I don't get that either because like I used to actually, when I was younger, I did play quite a bit of video games.
Did you?
Yeah, not like crazy amounts, but there was a couple of video games like I really like got into like Tomb Raider at one point.
Oh, okay.
But my enjoyment was playing the game. Do you know what I mean? Like trying to beat the levels and stuff. Like I don't see why I would watch somebody else play.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's similar to, you know, watching mukbangers or watching, I don't know. It's like a weird human psychology thing.
Maybe.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's like they're trying to get, they're trying to learn how to play.
Yeah, it could be that maybe there's a hard level that they're trying to beat, and then maybe they want to watch somebody beat it.
I think that's a small portion of it.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the commentary. I have no idea. But it's huge.
Yeah, it's
so clearly
massive.
we are not in the know.
No, we're not.
Anyway, so Twitch.
So the reason why Twitch has had a lot of backlash, and it's not just now, it's been the last little while.
Okay.
Is there's these famous Twitchers that have a lot of followers and a lot of the gaming audience. I mean, it's a wide range, but there's also a lot of people that are under the age of 18 that are in the gaming community and are really active on some of these platforms. Because if you think about it as well, like, and again, I'm not knocking people that are like older video gamers because there's lots of people and, you know, power to you. But I think especially with these kind of twitching, when you're watching somebody, you have to have the time to do that.
Sure.
And a lot of people like our age are just not going to have that time because they're working full time and everything else. So anyway, you have that kind of demographic. And the reason why they were getting backlash is because a lot of them were posting like gambling links. Like they were like, and not only just posting it, but like promoting like gambling sites and stuff, and encouraging people and having like referral links to go to like gambling sites to say, oh, if you go to this like blackjack.com or whatever and use my referral code, you get $50 of free spins or whatever it is.
Can you do that if you're like, do you have to somehow prove that you're over 18?
But this is where I think the issue is, because I feel like a lot of those sites that you have to prove that you're 18, it's a very loose verification
it's like, are you
process.
over the age of 18?
Yes. But exactly. Like how many times, you know what I mean? There's, you know, I'm pretty sure that like when I was like younger, there was like websites. I remember like Nexopia and stuff. Were you not supposed to be 18 to use that?
Yeah. Like and Facebook even, you have to be 18.
You have to be 18. How many people are 18 on Facebook?
Like nobody's going to check.
Exactly. So you have a lot of this like young demographic that's like, so a lot of like YouTubers have been calling out a lot of these big Twitchers and being like, guys, like this is not okay. Like you should not be promoting this, because as we know, like gambling, first of all, you should be over the age of 18 because and again, it has to do with human psyche and stuff, but like it can get highly addictive.
Oh yeah. It's very addictive.
Especially when you have like young kids involved in stuff that have probably like, you know, a tendency to like want to, you know, maybe gamble, and even older people as well.
Right.
But like you're promoting this stuff to them directly.
That's very unethical.
Exactly. So it's super, super wrong. So a lot of people have been like calling out Twitch and being like, come on, like, what are you doing? So this is actually a really positive news story, but actually Twitch has come out and said that as of a certain date, I can't remember which date it was. It's like a little bit in the future. It might be in this article actually. The referral links and codes are no longer going to be allowed.
So no referral links at all.
Exactly.
So not even just
for gambling websites.
Oh, just for gambling websites. Yeah. Okay.
Which I think is fair.
Like, I think it's fair, but how do they like monitor this? Because I like with live streaming, it's so hard. I don't know. Like, is it easy to monitor this kind of thing? Like, who's monitoring the live streams? It always fascinates me because even with YouTube, like so many videos get posted on a daily, right?
Yeah. That's
every second of every day. Like it's insane.
They say every second is like hours of content's uploaded.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So then how is anyone monitoring any of this?
But I think
there's some kind of technology that's probably going to read it.
Exactly. And I think also, and I could be wrong, but a lot of these like links are like in their description or something, or like, because when you're actually live streaming, I don't think you can like click within the live stream.
Oh, okay,
so I think it'll just be like in there, you know how like YouTube has the show notes and stuff.
Right.
So I think that's easier for them to like chase as well.
Right.
I guess they could still talk about it in their Twitch stream.
Yeah, but it would be difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier for people to click, because you could say, oh, go to this website and you'll get like $50 or whatever it may be. But I think this is like a really positive move. And it's funny because, okay, obviously Twitch is like, okay, we're getting a lot of backlash. Let's restrict this. I saw a post recently on Instagram, and I don't know if you saw this as well. Slightly different story, but there's been people coming out against Instagram now. Because in this post they were saying, well, look, have you noticed how Instagram has the ability to flag posts that are COVID related and have like a little thing that says, you know, for COVID information. So clearly they have the ability and the technology to flag posts. And they were saying, well, why can't they do this to posts that are inherently racist or like homophobic and all this kind of stuff?
Right. Are there lots of posts like that?
Like racist and homophobic ones. I think that there is. I mean, the community was saying that there are these posts out there, and
they don't.
I don't know.
I mean, not to defend Instagram, but also to kind of play devil's advocate.
Play devil's advocate, Rose. Play it.
I think with the COVID stuff, it is very automatic what they do. So, and I know that you can do it with racist things, but I feel like there's a little bit more nuance that goes into the racist post. It's not like people are just, I mean, maybe they are saying, you know, the N-word or something, but I'm pretty sure that would get flagged. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be racist in a way that Instagram may not detect it.
I don't know that it necessarily does get flagged, Rose.
I'm sure it does. Do you want to look it up?
Potentially. Oh, God damn, Rose.
Damn. Because I know that, I don't know why I know this, but there's like this is like a disturbing part of the internet, but there's like some parts of the internet that's like pro-ana. Do you know what that means? Pro-anorexia. And that's like a big community. I don't know if it still exists. I'm sure it does in like some parts of the internet. But I remember like when Tumblr was really popular, is it Tumblr? Yeah, that website.
Yeah.
When that was really popular, it was like a kind of a big community on Tumblr, which is very disturbing. Yeah. And I don't know why I know this, but basically I like tried to look up like that kind of thing because I was like kind of curious. I was like, obviously I wasn't trying to be, but I was curious. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it would block it, or it marked it as sensitive content or something.
Yeah, maybe they.
So I do think that they do it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's. My guess is it is
more difficult
to automatically detect a racist post because, again, racism isn't always like black and white. Like you're not going to just be like, that was a racist post. Like it's a machine doing it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of like the dark web, and you're saying about how there's this pro Anna thing. I don't know if it still exists. It probably does, but I remember that there's like this fringe community, and I don't know if it's like fringe. Well, it is very fringe, and it's very dangerous and very bad. But like in the gay community, there was some guys that would like want to get HIV and like sleep, and like they were like wanting to get it. You know what I mean? Like they were like trying to contract it.
Why? Do you know why?
No idea.
Oh my God.
Because they wanted to be part of the community or something. I don't know. But I'm like,
there is some crazy shit out there on the internet.
I know. There's some people out there that I'm just like, guys, like,
I know. It's insane.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's not great. The whole pro Anna thing, I was like, oh my God. Like, there'd be just posts of like, I do remember seeing some really disturbing posts, and it was like just really, really, really skinny people. Oh God, it really hurt. It like hurts my bones to talk about. I don't know why, but it's like, and they would be like, oh yeah, like keep going. Like people just encouraging each other to
it's so
anorexic.
Dangerous as well. Like imagine like, because
crazy.
You just think about how like feeble, because you see some of these people that literally look like skeletons.
Honestly, it's so sad. And then it's like they're feeding each other's, eating disorder.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah. It's not great.
Anyway.
Not great at all. But anyway, I think this is really good that
that is good.
They're preventing harm. And this is the quote from Twitch. I don't know if it's from Twitch, but they're preventing harm and scams created by questionable gambling services that sponsor content on Twitch, and they will be it sounds like it is from them. We will be prohibiting sharing links and or referral codes to sites that offer slots, roulettes, or dice games. We will continue to monitor gambling related content and update our approach as needed.
Good. I'm glad.
So that's a positive. I think that's one a positive story, thing. Guys.
There you go.
But I think the only reason they did that is obviously from pressure, right?
Of course.
Otherwise,
they didn't give a shit before.
Yeah, they're just like, again.
You think they care?
Again, going back to the climate thing, guys, we can link it up. It's like companies will not change
until you put pressure.
Or the governments force it through regulation, whatever it may be. Anyway.
Well, that's the thing. That's why it's frustrating when people listen. I do understand the sentiment when it comes to, for example, climate change or veganism. I do understand the sentiment that we individuals may not have the power, but I hate the idea that
we can't do anything.
We can't do anything about it. So it's all the system. It's all the system. It's like, well, you have to change your mentality, and like human beings have to like change their mentality first before you want to change the system, because we're all part of the system. Yeah. So if every single person is not on board with, for example, veganism, animal rights, or environmentalism, then how are you going to see any change systemically? You're not. Anyway. Yeah,
well, like you mentioned before, it's kind of like with climate crisis and with a lot of this stuff. Yeah. It's a bottom up, top down approach. Yes. Right.
You need both.
You need to have both, right? You need to have those people doing like what we do is important. It does make impact. Yeah. And we've seen industries change, and actually a really, really good example of that is even within the fast food industry. They're really, not all of them, but some of them are starting to, have vegan options, which they never had before. So like A&W doing their, they have the Beyond Burger, and now they launched this Beyond Chicken Nuggets, which are delicious as hell, by the way.
They are very good.
They're so tasty. But like that wouldn't have happened if there wasn't the change in consumer spending, right? So that just shows you that we can make change. Is it happening fast enough? I don't think so. Yeah. But it does show that like if people start to make those small changes, it does put pressure.
It does bring some sort of a supply situation.
Exactly.
Now the question is, how much is supply and demand going to impact the overall big picture? Yeah. We don't know when it comes to climate, especially. Yeah. But anyways, next story. What is this?
So this is our last story.
Okay.
And this is a bit of an interesting one, and it's like really sad, and I don't understand how this happens. But anyway, we're going to talk about it.
Oh God, so it's a true crime story.
It is Rose's favorite,
which is so bad. I need to stop.
I know. Apparently, it was so funny. I was reading a lot of the comments from our last video, and a lot of people are scared of murky waters. It's not just me. So thank you guys for sharing in my...
You know what? Honestly, that's probably a logical fear.
Yeah.
because it is, you just don't know what is in there.
Exactly.
You're right. Like you don't know what's in
it. It might not
there.
be necessarily a body, but there could be like an alligator or like some
God
crazy
damn,
shit
Daniel,
in there.
now you're going to scare me from swimming.
God damn, I don't want you to be scared of swimming. So basically there was a really sad situation that happened with this gentleman called Cameron Herring. So basically this guy, I think he was like 24 or 23 or 24.
Yeah.
He's gone to prison for life.
Okay, what happened?
Basically, I guess he was in an illegal road race. I think these happen like all over the world where like people just get together and like race their cars.
Oh my God, seriously, I don't like.
So get this. While he was in this road race, speeding, I guess it says speeding on Bayshore Boulevard. I'm not even sure where that is, but in Tampa, Florida. Okay. So speeding on this boulevard in this illegal race, and ends up hitting a mother who was, I think she was like only 24, really young mother,
right,
with a 20-month-old baby, killing them both. So, which is super sad.
That is so sad.
What's happened though, and oh God. So basically, because this guy is like very attractive. Yeah. Do you know?
I see where it's going.
Do you know where I'm going with this, Rose?
He's become popular, and it says on TikTok, it looks like.
Yeah, he has become huge.
TikTok is the fucking worst.
I know.
Let me just tell you.
He literally, obviously, he's in prison right now, so he has no posts on TikTok. And I think, I don't know if he has a big Twitter and stuff, but he has no posts. Has like millions of followers. We're talking millions of followers.
What?
And people are,
Wait, who's like somebody else is posting his photos?
No. Like he doesn't have any posts on there. That's the weird thing. He has an account, which he maybe created, but never posted any content.
So how did he become famous on TikTok?
Because people just started following his account from his name, I guess, and found him and just started following him.
Oh my God. I actually hate human beings.
Yeah.
I don't understand this mentality. I also heard that like, like what's his name? What's the supposedly attractive serial killer? What's his name? Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy, yeah.
I heard that he's also trending on TikTok. Like people are writing like some thirst tweets about him and thirst TikToks.
I just don't get it. Like, okay, so with this,
but it's usually, I mean, it's young people, but still.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's going to link into another one about this, but it's like all tied together. But basically, yeah. So he's on a 24 year sentence, and then apparently by early July, there's been this army of social media accounts from the other side of the world, from across the world, that have been like, creating like, comments like free, justice for Cameron, all of this stuff, basically saying like he's innocent, they need to let him go, blah, 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 when he's clearly a culprit in this. Like he was, convicted. I mean, I think it was a slam dunk case.
Do I believe in 24 years? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know the details of the case.
Yeah.
I mean, should he have been racing? No. But like, I mean, that seems like a lot for a manslaughter case.
Yeah, I mean, he killed a mother and her child.
I mean, he did,
which is so
sad.
So bad, but
so sad. Anyway, either way, either way, he was guilty, right?
And this just actually, I watched this thing. I wasn't actually the greatest program on TV, but I can't remember what it's called, and it was like talking about how we have these like, as a society, we have like these prejudices. You know what I mean? And
me and you both watched it. Was it where they like did that experiment?
Yes.
It was called like The 100 or something.
Yes, that's what it's called. Something like The 100.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
It was a really bad.
It was very poorly done.
Yeah, so I only saw that one episode, but it was interesting.
It was. And one of the concepts that they came up with, or not they came up with, but they tested, is mugshots. And what they would do is they would like, put two people's mugshots together of both people that like they would say, oh, they've committed this horrible crime, like murder, like manslaughter, just to see what the sentences would be, the consensus in the room would be. And every single person that was deemed to be like more attractive in society received a lesser sentence.
Yeah. So, well, basically they didn't put the pictures together. What they did was they had two different groups, right?
Yeah.
Of people. And how they did the experiment was they were basically trying to see how your looks and how attractive you are would impact how people perceive you, even in the criminal situation.
Yeah.
So they would have two different groups of people. One group got one photo.
Yeah.
The other group got another photo. Two different people.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
One of them is much more attractive. One of them is not so attractive. And then they saw how people were judging based on their looks, because they told them exactly the same story of what these people did.
That's right. Yeah.
And the people that were good looking, people were making all kinds of fucking excuses.
Like literally, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But I think
they got like an extremely low sentence compared to the ugly people. Unfortunately,
the less attractive,
people,
deemed less attractive.
Yes.
But like the thing is that's just like reinforces like so how bad, like just because somebody's attractive doesn't mean they're a good person.
I know.
You know
but
what I mean? They're
these,
like still
we have
they can
these
still be
biases.
evil. Yeah.
Which is crazy because I'm sure we also have these biases
100%,
that
like,
we don't even realize, right?
Yeah.
And they say the same thing. Like if you're attractive, you go to a job interview, you're more likely to get the job.
You are, yeah.
You're more likely to be perceived as trustworthy or intelligent, like all kinds of crazy things.
Tons and tons of stuff just for being attractive.
I know. And that's why he's, that's probably why he's famous. Same with like Chris Watts. He's getting love letters and shit. Like Chris Watts, the guy that killed his fucking 2 daughters and his pregnant wife, getting love letters. Are you kidding?
I know.
Think about every guy that's been, relatively decent looking, go to jail. I mean, I think that's a different psychology as well. Like
it is.
People wanting to be like in relationships with these convicted killers. What the fuck?
I don't get it, guys. I honestly,
what the fuck?
I think it's like obviously there's like a deep psyche to it, and there's a lot more to it. And I think part of it's like maybe those people are lonely and like, well, they have
some major issues.
Yeah, and they actually want to have a relationship with somebody where they can't really have a real relationship with them because they're behind bars. Like you can't.
That's saying like your ideal relationship.
God damn, they be behind bars. Damn. As long as we can have some conjugal visits. That'd be okay, once a month. Satisfy that urge.
That's all you need, once a month.
God damn. No, but like, yeah, I think there's like, obviously there's more like to it, and it's weird, but I just like, it bugs me because it's like these people on social media that are getting involved with this case based on the way the guy looks, being like justice for Cameron and all this stuff.
It's literally insane.
It's like, you don't even know the case. Like, let's just take a step back. Like, just because it's some guys like attractive, and it's like, it's so stupid because there was another one that was, he was really famous as well. He got like arrested for, I don't know, he was like drug related charges.
Is he the guy that got like he had the famous mugshot?
Yes, and it was like Jason Meeks.
I don't know his name, but he got so famous.
Like he's a model now.
It's just crazy.
So he's been thrown into this limelight. Does that mean he's all of a sudden turned over a new leaf and is a good person?
I mean,
people do change.
At least he wasn't like a murderer, but still like, it's good that he got some kind of, I guess, opportunity, but it's just sad for anybody that's not good looking.
It's crazy to me though, because like I think about my own self and I'm like, even if the person was like, let's say they were like ridiculously good looking, like I'm talking like just fucking your ideal of everything, right? If they've killed somebody
that's kind of a deal breaker.
It is a deal breaker, guys. I don't know what, I'm getting, I have to say I am getting desperate, but I'm not that desperate. God damn. Like,
I mean, that'd be a red flag if you ever heard of one.
I think my bar's low, but I mean, it could always go lower. I guess convicted murderers are now going to be open up on my Tinder.
Oh my God, seriously though.
But like to me, it's like no matter how attractive that person is, I will be scared of them.
That's the thing. It's like,
that's what I don't get.
Like, I know this is what I don't understand, but maybe they think, maybe if you're like I don't know, I'm trying to get into the mind of a woman that, and it's not just women, there's also men
as well
that also contact women. Apparently there was like another case where this crazy woman like killed her boyfriend or something, and apparently she's getting like love letters and shit. So it baffles my mind.
It does. It baffles mine as well.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess they think, oh, they're in jail forever so they can't kill me. I don't know, is that what they're thinking?
Maybe, but then what if he gets released? I don't know. There's a whole like weird thing. Like, but Rose, can you just, as a friend, if I, get to that point where I'm starting to have my dates at the precinct, can you please stop me?
I will stop you, Daniel.
Just say, Daniel, you know what?
Daniel, I will have an intervention.
Times have not got this hard, okay? You don't need to be going after convicted murderers and
Oh my God, honestly though, this is one of those crazy like psychological things that I don't think I'll ever actually understand.
Yeah. Like it's like, because there are some psychological things where it's like, it's a bit weird, or not a bit weird, but it's like, you can kind of understand.
You can kind of get where it came from.
Like the Stockholm Syndrome, for example.
Right.
Like
that makes sense.
Exactly. Like you watch, like I remember I watched the Natasha Kampusch story.
Okay.
Where this girl got like abducted when she was like 8 and like kept in this basement for like 8 years. And then or maybe even more than 8 years. And she did end up escaping, but she like afterwards, like she didn't really have such negative, like she obviously didn't like the guy, but she wasn't like, she was like, at some point they built like a relationship.
Sure. Yeah.
Because she was like, you know what, actually I'm relying on this man to keep me alive. Because she was,
for sure.
Apparently, like the crazy thing with that story, guys, is she was kept in this basement in like
where was it? Do you remember?
It was in like,
was it Sweden or
Switzerland
something?
or something like
this?
Yeah,
I think I've seen this.
The crazy thing is, so this guy that like kept
Did he kill himself?
Yeah, he killed himself right after she escaped.
Right, I remember that.
But he like had built this thing in the basement whereby like to get to this room that he had created, it took like an hour Like you had to like undo all of these locks and shuffle things and get so she in her mind she was saying she's like, if I'm not at least friends with this guy, like if anything was to happen to this guy, nobody's gonna find me and I will die down here.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is terrifying.
Like so fucking scary.
Yeah.
And again,
and imagine if this is your only human interaction for like 8 years, starting from when you were a child. Yeah. So yeah, that doesn't shock me that people develop Stockholm syndrome because this is literally the only human interaction you're getting.
Exactly. Whereas with this kind of thing, I think there's a new, like I kind of want to
I don't understand this. We need to research this.
I was going to say, we need to read about this
a deep dive.
to understand. And this is one of the things that guys, for those of you that are maybe in university or whatever,
maybe you know.
I highly suggest though taking some sociology options,
right?
Because this is the kind of shit that we would talk about in sociology, like not exactly this thing, but like I learned about so many interests, like sexual deviance, all of this kind of stuff. Like it was so fascinating to like see from different perspectives,
right?
And like sociology, I just I didn't get a degree in it, but I took a lot of options in sociology, and it was fascinating.
Right, interesting. Well, I also say the same thing about philosophy. Take some philosophy classes. Yeah, definitely. I don't think I took any sociology classes, and I'm kind of sad about it.
It was like because it was like very like the study of like societal norms and how we behave as individuals, and it was so good.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess this guy's famous because he is good looking, even though he was recklessly driving and
killed some people.
I mean, it's insane.
Mother and her child. So
how do you? Oh God.
But anyway, guys, that brings
us to the end.
That brings us to the end of this heartfelt episode.
Was it heartfelt?
Lots of stories.
Lots of stuff
going on around the world. Remember, guys, climate change is real.
Oh goddamn, Daniel, you'd be scaring our listeners.
I think maybe next episode we don't talk about it at all.
Yes, I think we need to have a non-climate change discussion because I think a lot of people are already feeling, the wrath of it all.
That's true, guys.
They're feeling very sad about it.
We will do that for you. I think next. Will you
remember?
I'll try to. Depends how much I'm drinking this weekend.
No, which is a lot.
Hey, I'm just kidding, guys.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. Once again, check us out on Patreon. It's patreon.com/TheSaVeg for bonus episodes and episodes earlier. Ad-free content, all that good stuff. Yeah. Also, where should they follow us, Daniel?
Follow us on the podcasting platforms that you're listening to us on. Check us out on YouTube if you want to see the videos that we do for the podcast, and that's at the SaVeg Podcast. And follow us on Instagram if you guys want to see some posts and some content on there. It's at the SaVeg Podcast on Instagram.
Thanks, guys, for listening, and we will see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye.